Hey everybody, this is Gabe and this is day 55 of the Gluten Dairy Free Challenge. Today I have a special guest with me. This is my friend Yashema.
Hi.
Yashema is here to talk about the Gluten Dairy Free Challenge that came out of a necessity with her. Now, Yashema, how long have you been going gluten and dairy free and why?
Oh, so it was probably about a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago. And the reason being is because I found out from the doctor after having some things that were wrong with me and I had no idea what was going on, that I indeed had a gluten and dairy allergy at the same time. So imagine my devastation.
Yeah,
When you go from, you're used to having certain things and, eating a certain way, and then all of a sudden, someone tells you that you can't do that anymore. And so it started out as a necessity, but then I found ways to make it fun.
what kind of ways, how do you make
So,
it fun?
a lot of times I think people's default reaction to, not having gluten or dairy or can't have the gluten and dairy is to automatically try to substitute exactly what they're eating with dairy free items, right?
Yeah, which is kind of what I've done.
But I found things that I like and incorporated it into in unusual ways.
Okay.
So for instance, I love turkey burgers. And so obviously, you have a burger, you got to have a bun, right?
Yep.
But what I found at the time that I could not eat the gluten or the dairy, I found that a lot of gluten-free items were not necessarily good.
You talk about like taste.
Taste-wise, texture, flavor, they're
Yep.
just completely lacking. So what I did was I found very interesting recipes and I would try things. So now I can have my turkey burger, but I do it with like a sweet potato bun.
Okay, is this like a bun that you make or something you buy
I
in the
can
store?
make it, or it's very hard to find. So most of the time, I do make it. But there are recipes out there where you can actually make sweet potato bread. So you can figure out ways to do that. So you make it fun. You incorporate the things that you like. I love sweet potatoes.
Okay.
So just knowing that I can have a sweet potato bun on my turkey burger was amazing. So you make it fun in those ways, and then but then I went back to the doctor probably about 6 months after he told me that I had a dairy allergy. And then he said, what I want you to do is I want you to try some things. Because I eliminated the dairy completely. And he said, I want to be able to determine the difference between you having, being able to have dairy from a cow versus dairy from a goat
Oh,
or a
okay. I never
sheep.
thought about that.
Right. So I tested for that, and the results were that I can have dairy from a goat, but could not from a cow. So I was excited because now I can incorporate my goat cheese and then
Yes.
feta. A lot of people don't know that feta is a combination of sheep and goat. And so
Yes.
I was like, oh, okay, now I can have some dairy back. So now those salads were fun because I can put feta cheese on there or goat cheese, or I can do snacks like almond crackers with goat cheese, flavored goat cheese. So it was different things that I was able to do. Made it more exciting. I didn't feel like I was missing out on anything because this all happened.
Well, let me ask you. One of the things that I have an issue with, uh, I'm an impulse food buyer, and a lot of that is because I will make something that is supposed to last 8 meals, but by the fourth or fifth time, I don't want to eat anymore, so I will go out and just buy stuff. And Chick-fil-A was my big one.
Yeah.
Now they do have the grilled nuggets, which is what I've been
Yes.
eating a lot.
Really, really good.
With you, do you have like the same issues with that I do with impulse food buying, or how you address that? And if you don't, when you go out to eat with friends, how do you handle, look at the menu and making sure that what you're needing is what you're getting?
Okay, so when I first started, because I was so nervous about eating things with gluten in it or dairy, I would go and find, something simple. I love fish. I love seafood. And I love veggies. I've always I was a veggie lover. So broccoli is one of my favorites. Cauliflower, zucchini, all those great veggies. And so what I would do is, if you go pretty much anywhere, you could find a default like fish and veggie dish, right?
Sure.
But a lot of times when they bring the dish or create the dish, it has a lot of sauce on it. And so what I did was I would actually ask the chef, what's in the sauce, because I have an allergy. And they will actually make modifications with the sauce for you in the restaurant if they know you have an allergy.
Okay.
So it's no longer a big deal like it was, maybe 5-6 years ago, when I had a friend who was gluten and dairy free, and she was losing her mind. Like, she was like, I can't, this can't be my life. But now, now when you go to restaurants, they have gluten-free options. Like, have gluten-free menus. They have, dairy-free menus, and they'll tell you immediately if you have an allergy, well, you can eat this, 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 and this on the menu. So it's gotten a lot better. And I find ways to incorporate a salad, which is great.
Now, you mentioned doing the cheeses. One of the reasons why I, was doing this challenge is because of, with my MS, they say that, gluten causes inflammation, and then dairy kind of mimics gluten, which causes inflammation. What I probably should have consulted you you before I started this. Probably would have saved me a lot of trouble.
Okay.
But have you heard anything about, the goat and sheep cheeses, and whether or not that kind of mimics the gluten or anything like that?
So, according to my doctor, the goat cheeses and the sheep cheeses are a whole lot, they digest better in your system. And he even said at one point that women who are not nursing, they recommended the children to have raw goat cheese. Raw goat milk, like goat milk, because it's just that, sensitive to the stomach. So I wouldn't say it necessarily mimics the gluten, but I always say it's on an individual basis. Try it and see how it does for you.
One last question. Other than the allergy aspect of it, would you, being on a kind of a gluten dairy free life, you said about 2 years now?
Yeah.
Have you seen any other benefits to it?
Actually, yeah. A lot more energy. Because before I would work 40 hours a week and be like, I am so tired.
Look at
I
it
just
for
want
3.
to go. And now I'm working 70 plus hours a week, and I'm like, I got some more fuel in me. So yes, definitely a lot more energy. So it's been a ride, but it's been mostly enjoyable, especially when I find new exciting recipes and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna try that. Or, you get devastated initially because you're like, oh my gosh, I can't have cake or butter.
Yep.
Like, how are you gonna survive without cake and butter and, all the great things that you want? That's a combination of gluten, dairy, like pizza.
Yes.
But you can have pizza and you can have cake. And it's good. But yeah, all you have to do is Google recipes. They have a lot of great paleo recipes as well. And so it incorporates a lot of gluten-free and dairy-free things as well. And it's very, very, very good. So it's not a big deal anymore. It's not a hassle for me. You can go out to eat now because, like I said, most restaurants have those options, and you can cook, and it's fun to cook when it's not just yourself. Invite people over.
Yes.
Have a cooking good time.
Yes, definitely. It's definitely hard cooking just for yourself. And you're like, oh man. Yeah. Hence my impulse food buying.
Yeah, it is.
Well, it sounds like I should have consulted with you at the beginning of this and not at the end.
Well, maybe we could have probably did some recipes together, But yeah.
Thank you very much for coming and sharing.
Well, thank you for having me.
Again, I wish I had talked with you earlier.
No problem.
But this is Gabe at the end of the day 55. Just 5 more days left. Hopefully,
We can do it.
hopefully I won't go all kinds of crazy. I might for a couple of days, but I might get with Yashema and actually get some good recipes to have a more balanced lifestyle even after this is all done.
Yes.
But until next time, this is Gabe and my friend Yashema signing out, saying always attempt a chance to try it, get to it.
Yes.
Till next time, adios.